The reason why I wanted to play guitar was very superficial one. It was mainly just to get girls. Because there was, I remember in school, there would be a guy at the back of the class and he'd be strumming the acoustic guitar, he'd be surrounded by all these girls, and I would get mad, thinking like, that's exactly what I have to do if I want to pick up a lot of girls. And honestly, that's the reason why I wanted to play guitar. Strangely, even though I've been playing guitar for quite a while, it has never gotten me as many girls as I thought that it would have. I only really fell in love with music and guitar maybe about one or 2 years after deciding to pick up guitar for the wrong reason. And music was one of the few universal languages. I became more and more interested in how the same 12 notes could be used in a variety of different music genres as different languages to speak to different people, and I became obsessed in a way of trying to play as many different genres as I can. I would say, in fact, the main motivating reason for me to leave and study music overseas was a change of environment. And I think for any art form, the artist, musician, painter, anything that's to do with art, you're very much affected by what your environment gives you and how you thrive in your environment. The only way you're going to get new inspiration, to get better, and to have a completely different perspective is to move to a completely different environment. And of course, besides attending a world-renowned music school, the most important thing was that the change of environment was going to force me to play differently, see music differently, and approach music differently in a way where you're never going to be able to do it if you're just stuck in Singapore. It's not about Singapore being a bad place, but it's more about being in a different environment completely. Another weird reason, because MI was simply cheaper. it never crossed my mind to quit ever. But yes, it is tough, especially if you decide to put it all in. I remember in the beginning, classes would start at 9 in the morning, and I would finish up practice about 1:30 to 2:30 AM in the morning as well. So that it gives, and I enjoyed every minute of it, even though it was tough. A lot of people quit. In the beginning classes, we had 5 classes. At the end, going towards the final year, the classes would be combined. There will only be 3 classes left because people just quit and drop out. I would say from a music perspective wise, things changed a lot because now I begin to appreciate the final details and nuances in music, things that kind of just flew by my head, from the simplest forms of music to even the more complex ones. And so the approach to performing the songs, the approach to recording, all that has changed ever since I was done with school. The reason why I'm back here is because you learn that there are a lot of empty promises in the world of music. Lies, empty promises from agents, band leaders, you name it, it's very much out there in music. Most importantly, the bigger the chances, the bigger the disappointment. And in music, you have to be able to cope with failure and disappointment, and pretty much being cheated on in your stride. Otherwise, you're not going to survive in the scene. Yes, the chances were plenty. Auditions were there. We sent in audition tapes. We played for well-known agents, well-known record labels, and sometimes things are not what they seem to be, or nothing worked out at all. You're just going to have to cope with that and move on. No, I don't think music school is a necessity. It's nice if you can afford it. They're getting more and more expensive. If you're really a decent enough musician, you just need a change of environment to inspire you to try different things. It could be as easy as taking a break from your current setting, going somewhere completely different by yourself, and put yourself in a situation that's completely different, but yet still in a musical setting. Maybe it could be a million and one things. It could be busking in New York subway, open jam in a pub somewhere in London, open jam somewhere in Tokyo where you can't even speak the native language. That forces you to communicate with the people over there. Totally out of your element, you're going to learn something that you can never learn in your local setting, and obviously something you can never learn in music school as well. How to hold the best American house parties. You gotta put that on. I would say yes. It taught me amazing money management because I spent all my money on school fees and equipment. I didn't have much money left for rent and food, so I would live on one $6 pizza for the entire day, and I would rent to sleep in someone's balcony. The only way you're going to be able to stay in the game or even get started is pretty much not so much about being a well-rounded musician, which obviously is important, but to be a well-rounded person. A career in music has very little to do with what you do during practice, but what you do outside of practice. Are you meeting the right people, saying the right things, being on time, showing up to rehearsal well prepared, being nice to people, just generally being a guy or girl that everybody wants to hang out with. Now that's supremely important, because if you're not a very nice person in the first place, you're not even going to be considered. So it's not just all about being an antisocial person, sitting at home, having the best shops, and trolling people on Facebook and saying negative stuff. Always remember, when you're saying something and you're playing something, no one might be around, but someone is always listening. And because someone is always listening, people are going to be saying things whether you like it or not. I would say this is a pretty, it's a nice guitar for such an affordable instrument. It's what, $80? We have been playing with this guitar for the last half an hour during this interview, and it hasn't gone out of tune once. Intonation is good. Nice tone of the guitar. Compared to a couple of, I would say many years ago, before mass production of guitars was at such a rampant rate these days, the quality has forced the quality of affordable guitars to go up. And this particular piece over here, it's being brought in by today's new chapter by Brillante Music. And if you're after a nice affordable instrument to get started with, this is one to check out.